Hi, I'm Dr. Kenton Bruce Anderson, and I'm coming to you today from the Batik Factory in Taluk Bahung near Penang, Malaysia, where I have been creating a series of silk sari artworks titled The Penang Moon as a group. This is the story of the third foundational bottom panel titled Tiger Moon, a tribute to the two women who are my spiritual and artistic foundations, Dolores Bedrosky and Mary Helen Ehresman, my Aunt Mary. Both women loved the moon. Dolores told of leaving her astral footprint on it, and Aunt Mary often told me she hoped God would let her stop by there on her way home to glory one day. Today is for them. Low on the horizon, over the beaches of Batu Ferengi, hangs the glowing ball we call the Penang Moon. No one saw it first emerge, and no one will see it fall from the sky. It may seem unknowable, beginning to end, and yet it changes each one of us daily, know it or not. We are born of its processes, and our women feel its call. Today I will finish creating a moon for you, and at the end, show you how we process it as well. Climb on board my spaceship to the sky with Dolores 11, Aunt Mary, and me. Here is a study for a moon crater effect that I'm looking for. Now the gold in this is wax, and there are multiple layers of this wax. So what I was working with here is a monochromatic grayscale. And what I'm looking to achieve is 3 to 5 distinct levels of light, and we're hoping with the different levels of applying a light gray first, and then wax, and then another light gray, and then more wax in an abstract kind of sponged on design that I'll create that effect. This will be boiled off, and then I'll add some finishing touches and some overlay work to it. This again is just a study for a much bigger piece, or for inclusion in a bigger piece, the technique. Dolores taught me to work fast, the same way she did. She'd say, "I work swiftly so I can live deeply." She was able to enter into these moments of her life fully, and then be there for the people, like me, that she cared for and taught. She saw herself first and foremost as a teacher, and I am the teacher I am today because of her patience, her acceptance, and her encouragement. She not only created in her work life, she also processed it with wisdom and grace. Can you too share your gifts with the world in love and joy? I will never know if Aunt Mary got to see the moon on her way to heaven. And while we may chuckle at a person with a seemingly comical vision, their vulnerability in sharing it or holding it in their heart makes them a true hero. This moon is for you, my loves. Your moonlight is a beacon and a homecoming. Yes, very nice. Thank you. Okay, go for it. You're going to fold it up? Okay. Okay, so this is where we're going to go and dip it into boiling water. Is it okay if I have you on videotape? Okay? Okay. What is your name? Marina. Thank you, Marina. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Thank you, Azirin.
You know what? If
yes.
you want happy with this color, we can do a bench color or something like this wax color.
Well, let's take a look at it and see.
Because we talk about the gold.
Yeah.
So this is beige kan? Kita boleh ganti dengan beige. Ya.
Okay. Well, let's take a look then. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah.
So
Okay. So, gentlemen, thank you for walking me through this process. We're on video now, so can I ask you, first of all, what is this chemical that we're putting this fabric into? Sodium silicate. And is it suspended in a water or oil? Oil. Sodium silicate. So you're pulling it through the ooze, kind of a slaggy looking material. You roll it out on that bar and squeeze out the excess. Is this the same process and the same material you use for all fabrics?
Yes, all fabrics.
Okay. Cotton and rayon and silk. The same. And is it kind of fixing the color underneath the wax or behind the fabric? Or how is it getting in below the wax to get to the dye?
No, below wax gonna go there.
So it doesn't fix the color that's under the dye, or does it fix it
If
with
you
the wax?
have to do the wax inside the fix, you do the fix first, then do the wax.
Oh, okay. That's going to be interesting. So he says if you want to do the color and hold the color below the wax, you have to fix it before you do the wax. So I don't know if that's what's going to happen here. It's going to turn everything white under the wax, and we're not going to get the multiple layers of gray that is in it. But we're going to find out.
Someone I mentor recently asked me how to approach a successful old friend for a high-paying job or a gift. What should I ask him for, he wondered. So I asked him instead, do you want to be a leader or a follower? Because the follower is like the dependent child who only knows how to ask, can you do for me? But a leader asks, how can I serve you? Service, voluntarily given, is the leadership born of grace. Whenever you can, lead with light, determination, and service, and you will glow in the eyes of the world. And, incidentally, also find your prosperity and gifts.
Here, by the way, are the moons of Jupiter Penang Moon series, the triptych series, standing up while they're having the fixative on them, and they've just kind of covered it with plastic, as you can see there, and they're letting that drain down. And so this sodium silicate obviously has been here before and seems to be coating this entire place, in this particular manger. And then here's the two smaller cotton ones. Again, we're just letting them drip drain for a couple hours to really set the colors. Just want to show you this manger that they've got. Those of you who've seen the old Christian stories about Mary and Joseph and their baby in a manger, this appears to be the same construction. So maybe it was originally used for cows, but I don't know.
So we've seen that immediately after painting them, batiks must have the color fixed or made permanently binded to the fabric. Otherwise the dyes would run. Make sense? But after that's cured a couple of hours, we have to rinse that fixative sodium silicate off. With grace and finesse, Dean and Fazle carefully, methodically pull the fabric of the rolls into neat accordion folds and then, like dancers, rhythmically pulse the folds through the rinse water. They remove the sodium without any scrubbing motions which might disturb the wet fabric or diminish the threads or even break down the wax formations, like watching an underwater ballet. Then, into the boiling cauldrons, like watching the witches of a Macbeth play. At 12 or 13, Aunt Mary's gift was showing me how to love again after a broken life. I had hardened my heart to tears, weakness, feelings, but she openly wept with me, overflowing loving energies in her voice. Children were a wonder to her, and I took her breath away. She modeled how love completes a heart and a life. Can you love all? Can you spread your warmth over others in real time? Can you look inside their pain and embrace their potential? One thing I greatly respect about the owner and staff of the Taluk Bahung Batik Factory is their attention to detail. For many companies, I suspect the process might end with these rinse steps. But here, before they ever hang them outside to dry, Dean and Fazle give each fabric piece an extra night to soak in the rinse. Gently, the fabric floats on the water surface, allowing any stubborn or remaining residues to gently fall away and sink to the bottom. That extra step of patience has been a wake-up call for me personally. Shouldn't I, too, give the gentle people around me the time needed to shed their wasted energies? It's hard, but each day I try harder. Won't you join me in giving people in the world space and time to heal?
So our 3 boutiques in the Moon series have been dried now, and we've laid them on top of each other. We stretched out the bottom one, which is actually the top one in the actual hanging on the wall. This on the top level is the bottom one. We've just laid it on top and pinned at the 2 ends, so it's a little looser than the other one below. But basically, this is what they look like before we add the silver leaf. So my goal, of course, is to have a fully dimensional moon, which means that we're going to add a 5th dimension of light dark, which is the actual light, which will come from the reflection of a metallic silver leaf. We'll use real pure silver leaf for that. And we'll put it throughout, sprinkle it in little spots here and there, but also what I had done here was to add some tiny quasars, and those did not come through. So my question, I guess, is if I want quasars back in there, I will put those in now and then rerun this one through the process. Quasars are only on this bottom one. And then I could even add quasars later in the glue, depending on whether the technique will hold. And so that's kind of what we're doing, is we're just examining them as they've come out, and we'll go from here and start playing with them.
I hope you've enjoyed seeing inside the secret world of my moon's creation. I've shown you where they came from, deep inside me, through the gifts of others. The warm inspiration of people like Dolores 11 and Aunt Mary. We don't each have a lot of time on this earth, so will you use yours to share the warm glow of your light, your moonlight, over those around you? Can you see it's not enough just to dream the colors of your art or your life in a vacuum, but we must also find our way to process them lovingly, with care, with help from and to help those around us in our world. To the moon, all of us!